Yeah, it didn't seem like the game was too fast for him. He actually looked pretty comfortable in there. I know it's preseason. He's not getting a ton of scheme, but he did what he could do. So he's got a receiver running to the flat. Here's the over route right there, wide open for a touchdown. Just throw it to him. He'll make a few plays. There's no doubt about that. Will it be consistent enough over time to really be what it needs to be? I think that's a challenge ahead of him.
Every quarterback can throw the ball through the door. The good ones can hit the doorknob. The great ones throw it through the keyhole. That was a keyhole throw.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's the truth, though.
Hello, I'm Michael Lombardi, and this is Coach Bill Belichick, and this is the series called Coach, where you and I get to do something special. We get to recreate our meetings after the game, where you and I would sit in my office, or I'd sit in your office, and we would discuss what happened in the game from a general manager standpoint, from a head coach's standpoint, compare our notes and move forward. And Coach, I'm really looking forward to being able to recreate those memories. Hopefully you have a better team than we did your first year in Cleveland. But I'm looking forward to it nonetheless.
Yeah, so am I, Mike. I love those meetings that we had so many times, and to come into your office and talk about personnel, talk about changes, adjustments we need to make, trades, things like that. Talk about some of those stories, but you had a great feel for the league and how things transpired in the league, and so looking forward to coming to your office and sitting down on that. We'll fill up that whiteboard behind you with some names here, and get caught up here as we go through the year.
I worked with Al Davis, you worked with Bill Parcells, and both of them were obsessed with why did we win, why did we lose? And those conversations we had in the offices were about why we won, why we lost, and why we were not able to close out the game. So oftentimes, as we started in Cleveland without a quarterback, it always comes down to the quarterback. So I thought, since there's no games to review from last week, that we would start talking about this session about the quarterbacks from the 24 college draft and look forward to see how they're going to do. But what I wanted to first start off with is your perspective, which hasn't really changed, in terms of what qualities you're looking for in a quarterback.
I'd say the three most important things are accuracy, decision-making, and leadership.
Yeah.
Command of the offense, command of the huddle, smart enough to know the situations. But in the end, it's about decision-making and accuracy, getting the ball to the right place and putting it on target.
Yeah, we had 6 quarterbacks drafted in the first round. I think it shocked a lot of people. But all of them had certainly qualities to be first-round picks, and they demonstrated that in college. Some had more experience than the others. But why don't we go back and take a look at starting with Bo Nix, who's the 12th pick overall in the draft, and talk about what you saw in him this preseason and what you think may happen as the season goes on as he plays for the Broncos. And as a starter, it was named captain too. It tells a lot about his leadership in terms of the team.
Yeah, Bo Nix looks a lot at Denver like he looked at Oregon. High completion percentage, can move the ball, can move the team, athletic enough, and a good decision maker. So, here are some of the stats from college. 43 and 18, pretty good win-loss percentage, and he doesn't hurt the team. I'm not saying every play is the greatest play you've ever seen, but they're all solid plays, and he doesn't hurt the team. Doesn't turn the ball over and makes good decisions.
I thought, going through the tapes that you're going to show us here in a second, I thought that experience is something we all talk about, but it's hard to really see at times. But I think when you watch Bo Nix this preseason, you can really see the 61 starts and the experience. And I thought he played really, as John Wooden say, hurry up but go slow.
Yeah.
I thought he was playing fast but going slow.
Yeah, it didn't seem like the game was too fast for him. He actually looked pretty comfortable in there. I know it's preseason. He's not getting a ton of scheme, but he did what he could do, and really was pretty impressive.
Yeah, there's no question. I think you've got some clips to show us here.
Well, Michael, let's start with Bo Nix.
Yep.
They did a pretty good job in college, 250 yards a game. Didn't turn the ball over much, a lot of touchdowns, and won a lot of games. What'd you see at Oregon?
Well, 61 career starts. When he was at Auburn, I was a little hesitant. He was a highly recruited kid, came in with another player. They kind of struggled. He won that job in the Gus Malzahn offense, and then it never looked like he threw the ball very well. At Oregon, that changed the direction. He threw it really well, had good rhythm. I thought the best thing he did at Oregon, Bill, was make the second play a better play. He could move around, but he kept his eyes down the field. I think Sean Payton talked about that. I think you see it on your tape you have here for us today.
Yeah, we got a few plays to look at here, but a good decision maker, protected the ball well, and really was very efficient, led the country in completion percentage. So it's preseason here. against Green Bay. Gets the ball out on time. Good third down conversion.
Yep. Had really good rhythm with his feet. One of the things Walsh would always emphasize is your arm attached to your feet. I think you could see it here with Bo Nix. His arm and his feet are in perfect rhythm, like a boxer when he gets ready to punch.
Yeah, it does a nice job of pointing his toe at the target. Here you can see his athleticism. Gets outside the pocket, makes a nice throw on the run back inside. Good, like you said, Good job getting his eyes downfield.
And doesn't panic. I mean, you want to define experience. There it is right there. Not to panic when you're on the move. You got a big guy coming at you.
To your point, Mike, keeps his eyes downfield. This is what you're looking for. Gets out of the pocket, sees this. I'm not sure why his corner's coming out of coverage, but Nick sees him, stand there in the end zone, makes a good decision.
Yep. He threw it over the line, but still, his eye level's down the field. That's a hard thing to get a quarterback to do. Sometimes when they decide to run, they're looking at the grass, not the field.
That's right. Play action here on first down. This is a nice job on the screen pass. I mean, I know it's a screen pass, but, he does an excellent job here drawing the rush to him, continues to drift over here, brings all the rush. Again, it's a little thing, but it's the execution of the screen pass. This is what you want. Give the runner the ball. And again, there's the runner. And you want that ball on the upfield shoulder, in this case, the left shoulder of the receiver. Right. So when he catches the ball, he turns, has got his eyes downfield, and can gain extra yards, after the catch. So accuracy, especially on passes like screen passes, bubble passes, slants, things like that. If those balls are on the money and they're accurate, then there's a lot of yards after catch.
And you could see him throw the ball really well off balance. I mean, it's like an NBA shooter that has to shoot off balance and make shots. That's one of the things quarterbacks have to practice, being off balance and making accurate throws. He does it well.
Yeah, it's a lot different playing quarterback than pitching on the mound.
Yeah.
There's nobody in front of you.
Exactly. Talk a little bit about this. Here we look like they're in 7-man protection. He brought the back up here, but we're really not in 7-man. They're just going to chip out. Sean Payton's going to do an extra hard job of making sure Bo Nix is protected, even if it's preseason.
Yeah, and just chipping the tackles, helping the tackles a little chip block here so that those ends don't get a free rush at him. But this is a great job right here. I thought this is really one of his best plays, that I saw in preseason. Green Bay here is playing Tampa 2 coverage, and so here's the middle linebacker running deep for the post. And the idea on this play is to run like you're going to run the post and then hook up when the linebacker's too high and then stick the ball in there right down the middle before the linebacker can react up to it. And this is a really good job here by Nix of recognizing the coverage. There's the linebacker high, and he just sticks it right on him. Good timing, good accuracy, good decision. The second down play here, again, another good anticipation, good mechanics. Here's this, the in-cut coming in there against, 3-deep zone. Really does a nice job, like you said, with his mechanics, stepping into the throw, driving the ball there and putting it right in the inside edge of the numbers away from that outside corner.
His accuracy gets continued. This is a play I think that is really special.
A flat route with a backside under here, but draws the coverage out on the back, sees it inside, sticks it right there on the goal line, right on the money. It's really good throw with the guy in his face.
No look pass. It was really that was impressive because if he doesn't look to the first receiver to the flat, that guy's going to hang on the second receiver inside.
That's right. All right, empty formation here, so spread the field. Again, this one I thought he really missed an opportunity here. He's got this seam open, and not really sure why he would be looking down on this side. It's a 3-deep zone, so the Colts got 3 guys over here. Colts got 3 guys up here, but we have 3 receivers on offense. So I think he should be looking to this side of the formation. When he's not, when he comes back late, it's too late. Seems wide open. It just makes a late read here, and almost gets it picked off. Yeah, this is another one where got an over out coming, and he's got to see in front. Anytime you have a receiver coming across the field, you've got to get your eyes in front of that receiver. You can't just look at the receiver. That's going to draw, somebody from the outside to close back in. He's got to see, the player that's circled here at the bottom from the Colts, and ends up throwing it right into him. Again, not a good decision there. He's got to learn from that play. Yeah,
no question about that. This to me was, I thought, one of his best plays in the preseason.
It's 3rd and 10, and right now not much going on here. They chip, as you said, they did that a couple times where the backs are and the tight end a little bit late getting out. Good coverage here by the Colts. So there's not really, not much of an opportunity here. He buys a little bit of time in the pocket, starts to scramble, gets his eyes downfield, sees the corner fall down, and makes a good throw.
Yeah.
On the run to his left, nice play.
Yeah, off balance, converts to 3rd and 10. Big time play right there. I mean, that's what you're looking for. Bad play turn into a good play.
Yep. Don't make a bad play worse, but if you can extend the play and make something good happen, that's what you want to do. Now, tough look here from the Colts, giving him this double mug look. You know, he does a nice job on this one of, you know, on the out route. Perfect timing. You know, they got good pressure up the middle here, but he gets the ball out so quickly the pressure can't get there, even though this is a good rush from the Colts. They're on top of him. Gets the ball out on time right there. And not does he hit this out, this is really good here. He hits the out, but also gives the receiver a chance, you know, make a couple of yards after the catch. Just doesn't run him out of bounds here.
That's a hard throw going backwards to make a throw with that kind of velocity on it. It shows you his arm strength. We talk about arm strength, everybody thinking about length of arm strength, but the ability to put the balls on you quickly, Bo Nix can do that really well.
Yep. That was a really well executed play. I mean, I like that. This is one of these that you just can't.
These drive you crazy.
Oh my God!
Somebody be doing laps over this one here.
You got to eliminate these plays as a quarterback. You just got to eliminate them. You know, fumbled snap, and look, you could play great the whole game, and then have one of these in the 3rd or 4th quarter and cost your team the game. Like you just can't have that kind of sloppy ball handling on the quarterback center exchange, whether you're under center or in the gun.
Here we got another 3rd and 3 coming up at you.
Okay. Not sure why he doesn't throw the under route here. You know, it looks like it's designed to hit this under route, and it's, you know, wide open here. Like to see him throw this, but you can see his athleticism on this play where Nix gets out of the pocket, again, gets his eyes downfield.
Do you think
and sees he can outrun the defender and get the first down.
With his movement, do you think as you scout him that you're going to have to spy him early in the season to make sure he doesn't make these kind of plays?
You know, I don't know if it's a full spy. It's certainly not like Jayden Daniels, but I don't think you want him running for 5 or 6 yards on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 for an easy first down like this. So, you know, I think real disciplined rush lanes, making sure that you don't run past the quarterback and keep him in front of you, is probably would do it. But you don't want to let him spy, and you don't want to let him run out of there for a first down. Good quick decision here. Defensive end's unblocked on the play action fake, but timing's really good. Ball's out.
Yeah. You know, you used to say this all the time. We have to take the classroom to the field. This kid takes the classroom to the field. You can see it on this tape.
I thought this was really one of the best plays, you know, that I saw from him. You know, when you have a bad play, the most important thing is to not turn it into a really bad play. So don't turn the ball over. Try not to lose yardage. So if you can throw an incomplete pass and get back to the line of scrimmage and lose it down, that's the next best thing. And then the third option will be, if you have a chance to make a good play, make a good play. But I emphasize good here. You know, a lot of players say, well, I was just trying to make a play. Well, if it's a bad play, don't make it. Make a good play.
Yeah. It's pretty simple, right? This one's a really good play, actually, what he ends up doing here.
Yeah, this is, you know what, you don't coach this. This is instinct. He doesn't throw the screen pass. He sees that as, you know, that's dead. They got no chance to gain any yardage on that. Might even turn the ball over. So he pulls the ball down, gets his eyes out here, check down route, takes a hit, but really good decision to not throw the screen. And then, you know, to not have a bad play here. If this player's not open, I'd like to think he would throw the ball away, but, you know, he sees an outlet, makes a positive play out of it. You know, they end up gaining about 15 yards on this play. Good timing here. Ball's out quick. Real good decision. Get the ball out on time. Puts it right on the tight end. Again, as soon as he comes out of his break, like that ball's out of his hand before the tight end even turns. Tight end snaps his head around, ball's there, and there's another 10 yards after the catch.
Yeah.
If this ball's not accurate, if this ball is too far out in front of him or too far behind him or low or he's got to jump for it, you're not going to get these extra yards. This is all about accuracy, getting the ball in the tight end's hand, just enough time to avoid this guy, to avoid that next guy, the nickel back coming in there, and pick him another 10 yards.
Yeah, his rhythm is really good. His arm and his feet are together. Now, here's a bad one for us. Poor mechanics here, Bill.
Yeah, this is one where, you know, he's got this in cut wide open here. Just slide up in the pocket and make the throw. He kind of dances there and throws it off his front foot and, you know, bounces it out there.
But it's hard to get a quarterback to work vertically in the pocket, a young quarterback. Sometimes they're a little intimidated to go up in there.
Yeah, well, some of those big guys, 6'6" guys, long arms, try to stay away from them. I thought this was another good play here. A lot of pressure from the Colts end here. Tackles, gets beat on the pass protection. But he puts it out there again, shows a nice arm, get the ball up there. Single coverage outside, post safety coverage. I mean, this is where you want to take a shot on the perimeter. One way or the other. It's 3rd down and 10. They're bearing down on them. I think that's a good decision.
Yeah. I mean, overall, you would say Bo Nix, his experience really paid dividends. I mean, all those starts, which is critical, whether it's at Auburn or whether it was at Oregon, have paid off. And I think Sean's only going to make him get better as the year goes along. Coach, from the 12th pick overall, let's go to the first pick in the draft, Caleb Williams, who, if you watch the highlights, you think, oh, my God, this guy is going to light the world on fire. But I think you can take us behind the curtain a little bit here to show us some things that Caleb's going to be a good player, but there's things he needs to work on.
Yeah, there are definitely things he needs to work on. And when you look at his college stats, they're pretty impressive. A lot of yards per game and 93-14 on touchdowns, interceptions, 23 and 10. Not bad. I would say when you go to, and he didn't play very much in preseason. He only threw 20 passes, completed 10 of them. So there's not a whole lot to go on. But I'd say based on that, there's still some things that he needs to work on. But he's going to have some splash highlight plays that are going to show up on the highlights every weekend.
Yeah, no question. And, he's got to do a better job of ball security. That was the one concern in terms of when you watched him as an evaluator, studying him on tape, ball security in the pocket. And there were times he played small in the pocket. Sometimes he couldn't see things down the field. And I think you're going to show us some of those clips, too.
All right, so preseason here against Cincinnati.
Now, just for the record, this is Cincinnati's backups against the first-team Chicago Bears, which for us sit in that GM head coaching offices. This competition, the level of comp was so important evaluating preseason. If your ones don't do good against their twos, you and I were going to have a hard time having that talk, right?
Yeah, that's right. Gets out of the pocket here, no real pressure. I don't know, it's kind of makes not a great throw there.
3rd and 10 here. We come up here, 3rd and 10. This is the first series of the game. This is the first drive. I think the Bears, the intent here was to start fast, get some confidence. He didn't play a lot in preseason. So, the Bengals are saying, look, we got our backups on the field. See what you can do. Take it from there.
And 3rd down, look, 3rd down is the hard down for the quarterbacks in the NFL. 3rd down, red area, and 2 minute. I don't know why he's looking in here. The slot receiver is clearly double covered. You got to find the single coverage now. Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator, is keeping a couple of guys in a chip here. So we're doubled here. We're doubled here. There's the single coverage. I mean, that's the guy you got to throw it to. You certainly can't throw it to this guy, but Caleb kind of hangs on to the ball here and tries to stuff it into the slot receiver who pulls up and ends up being intentional grounding and all that.
Poor decision.
Yeah, it is. That's not who you want to be throwing the ball to, and it ends up being not only an incomplete pass but intentional grounding. I thought this was a missed opportunity here. Here's the post, and again, a good chance to lay it out there. There's no pressure at all. A good opportunity to step up in the pocket and let it go, and this ball, instead of kind of being out in front of the receiver where he can run through it to the post, right? Here's the goal post. And we say the post right, usually it's a near upright is what the runner's, the receiver is aiming for. Here this ball ends up being back over his outside shoulder and, chance for a big play here, and just didn't think he was very accurate on this throw. I don't know why you throw the post behind the receiver.
I could hear Al Davis screaming to me, let him catch it with his feet, because he always wanted the receiver, like a center fielder in baseball, to go get the ball. There's a perfect example of how do you catch the ball with your feet. The quarterback didn't give him a chance to do it.
Nope. And this is another one I think Caleb would like to have back here. Again, no real pressure.
Middle of field close.
Middle of field close. Here's, right up the seam. It looks like he's looking at him, but I don't know. Maybe he can't see through the rush here. But that's one. I mean, this is a touchdown right here.
Yeah. And this is the backup defensive front against the Bears starter, and they get a sack here. That, again, I know the Bears are talking today. They've got a lot of great skill, but they better protect him, or else these are going to be the problems.
Yeah, absolutely. Protection is going to be a big issue for the Bears, how well they can do that and how well they can, I would say, throw the ball in bad weather. I mean, it's fine now in August and September, but, you get in Chicago in November, December, the passing game is going to be tough. So I think there's some elements that are going to have to come together for him. But, these are the kind of throws you want to see, Caleb make. It's really not a hard play. You just can't see it. Ends up getting sacked. Could have been a touchdown. Ends up being a sack.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 15-mile-an-hour winds when they play Tennessee this weekend in Chicago. One thing about Chicago, there's never an easy weather day.
It's like playing in Cleveland. It was always windy.
It's true.
But I like this. Look, these are the things you like about Caleb right here. Quick release, gets the ball out quickly, gets it to the receivers, out of his hands, accurate, right on the money. Good play. He's just got to make those kind of plays. And then when you get a chance to make a big one, whether it be a post or a seam route, take advantage of it and hit it. This is really a highlight play. This is the kind of play that not too many players can make. And I think this is why plays like this are why Caleb Williams was the number 1 pick in the draft. He does a good job here of extending the play and, running to his left. He's really, off balance. And he heaves it up there to Dunze on the sideline for a big gain.
What a great throw.
Yep.
And Roma Dunze with a great catch. I mean, look, those are the plays that make you the first overall pick in the draft, but there's to be more consistently. I think it's amazing how well these young quarterbacks in the league can throw the ball off balance, though.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that has really changed in the game is the ability to shoot the ball off balance and throw the ball off balance.
Right. Here's another play that I thought Caleb missed. He gets out of the pocket here on this bootleg and the scramble, and so he's got a receiver running to the flat. Here's the over route right there, wide open for a touchdown. Just throw it to him. I don't understand why he doesn't do that. He must not see him. And so then, instead of throwing the ball right here for a touchdown, he scrambles around and ultimately, does find a receiver in the back of the end zone. Does a nice job of keeping his eyes down the field here, but, receiver's out of bounds, and so it ends up being an incomplete pass where really it's an easy touchdown here. Again, his athleticism against, backup players and so forth, we'll see how it is against the best players in the NFL. I don't know. But it's just hard to make a career on this. It's a lot easier just to come out here and throw the ball like Nix did and hit the guy open in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, and at USC could run away from that guy. In this league, he's not running away from him.
It'd be a lot harder.
Yeah, no question.
Another play in the red area, and again, these are the most challenging plays for the quarterback. Scrambles, gets out of some trouble here, runs around and ends up making a good scramble play and scores a touchdown here. You can see his athleticism. He's a very athletic quarterback. I think that teams that force him to stay in the pocket, see over the rush, throw the ball on time, jam the receivers, and disrupt a little bit of timing, those are the situations that he's going to have to show he can be really consistent in. He'll make a few plays. There's no doubt about that. Will it be consistent enough over time to really be what it needs to be? I think that's a challenge ahead of him.
Yeah, I think if you were coaching against him this week, it would be all I could hear you lecturing about pass rush, pass lanes, don't run past him, make him play quarterback from behind the center.
Yeah, and get on the receivers in tight coverage, kind of like we saw here. Can the receivers get open against tight coverage consistently if you keep them in the pocket?
Yeah.
You let them get out there and run around and scramble and extend the plays, then I think you're asking for trouble with this guy.
Then the corners have to cover way too. All right, let's go to the Jayden Daniels, LSU. I know you've done a lot of work on him. You spent some time down at LSU. You've watched him. We got a chance. He didn't play a lot in the preseason for the Washington Commanders, but there's a lot to like about this player. I think to me, when I watch him and scouted him, it was a little bit of he had Lamar Jackson run skills. I mean, really fast. He can run.
Fast.
And I thought he threw the ball really well outside the numbers.
Yeah, most of his passing game success has been outside the numbers, and he's very fast and a very good runner. He showed that in college. He showed it in the NFL too. Some of his college stats here, good production here, not too many interceptions, and a good one-loss record. So. He's a solid player for, LSU after he left Arizona State, came to LSU, had a solid, couple of years there and second overall pick in the draft. There's certainly some things to like about Jayden. Not saying on the other hand, there's some things he needs to work on and improve, like all rookies do. And those showed up in preseason.
Yeah, no question. And I think to me, it's Cliff Kingsbury's going to have to find the rhythm because we're concerned about if you run him too much with the frailness of his body, can he stay healthy doing that? It's a hard thing to do. This isn't Josh Allen where he's a big man. He could take the punishment because you got to be concerned. You saw that in the Alabama game when he had to run around and Alabama knocked him out of the game. But I think that's going to be the key is what they do with him in the run game because you could see in the preseason they're in a little bit of a six-back attack. You saw him run power sweep. You saw him run quarterback quarterback draw.
Yeah, he can get outside and he can get a lot of yards in a hurry. We saw that in the Alabama game last year on his scrambles. But I think the key really for Jayden is going to be to develop his overall passing game, anticipation, and run when he can run, but not be looking to run too often. Or I think durability could be an issue.
Yeah, I think he's got to look down the field. I mean, I think the difference between he and Bo Nix looked down the field but could run. When he decided to run, that's why he gained 1,000 yards in college. He just took off and he was hard to tackle.
Very hard, very fast. Yeah, well, let's go to the Washington preseason tape. Here we are against the Jets, 3rd and 6. So again, third down situation, empty formation. So really spreading things out here for the quarterback, so we can get a good look at the coverage and see the matchups across the field. Thought this is a very good throw. He's got a good arm. He's got good, has good throwing mechanics. But he puts it out here.
This is where he excels. You saw it at LSU. Of course, he's throwing to Neighbors, who was always about 6 yards past most of the defenders. So it was an easier throw than this, but this is a hell of a throw.
It really is. And again, as you mentioned, Mike, throws outside the numbers, I think is really where he's at his best. Another challenging situation for the defense when you look at him as, the extra gap or the extra runner. I mean, here, the Jets have a guy assigned to him. No surprise. I just can't get him.
Yeah, he's fast.
He's really fast.
I think it's one of those players, too, that unless you play against him, you don't realize how fast he is.
Yeah.
The tape is a little deceiving. We've all been fooled by tape. Oh, they're not as fast as you think they are. They're way faster. Ray Lewis was way faster in the game than he was even on tape.
3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 here, short situation. Again, McLaurin, this is a nice job right here. Here he is working with his starting receiver on a 3rd down situation, and that ball is delivered right on time. Nice play here. Good 3rd down conversion. And again, defending outside the numbers on Daniels is what the teams are going to have to do. I'm not saying he can't throw a ball inside, but he's very good outside where it's just the receiver in the corner and he can put the ball where only the receiver can get it.
I think that plays a perfect indication of accuracy to the quarterback because he threw it and forced the receiver to turn outside, and those extra 15 yards would have never happened if the ball was inside or wasn't as accurate as it was. That's a great throw that no one really talks enough about in terms of accuracy on the quarterback. Brett Favre used to say this. Brett Favre said, every quarterback can throw the ball through the door. The good ones can hit the doorknob. The great ones throw it through the keyhole. That was a keyhole throw.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's the truth, though. If you get yards after catch, it has to be from an accurate throw by the quarterback. If he makes the receivers work for the ball, it's too hard for them to gain yards. They just don't have a chance.
Yeah, no question.
Well, here he is, running the ball, and this is, again, what he can do. I don't want to say it's a design play. It's a read, all right, but you have the tight end out here as a lead blocker if he decides to keep it, which he does. This is going to be trouble for the defense. You've got to have somebody take care of this, and this is going to help their inside running game and their play action game. He's a big threat. You just can't let this guy carry the ball.
You got to count him in the run game. You can't go into the game saying, okay, if he runs on pass plays, we got to handle it. This is really, their run game consists of him running the football too.
And I thought this was very well executed here off the play action fake, and he sees this quickly. He sees the tight end pop through these linebackers. The ball's out of his hand quick, makes a good quick decision. I really like this play. Again, this is one, though, you'd really like to see him put it, between the 8 and the 7 and not make the tight end get down to the ground to catch the ball. Stay up, put it on him, and he might have a chance to run through for, an even bigger play.
Yeah.
But it's well executed, and the ball's out quick.
Here's some college tape for you going back out. This is the Alabama game, early in the Alabama game.
And he really did a lot of damage to Alabama. We know Alabama has fast players, and we know Alabama's, really, really well coached. Here's Neighbors. This is a good look at that deep post pattern that we were talking about a little bit earlier. This ball is out in front of Neighbors where it should be. Neighbors just runs through it. I mean, this guy's got a big arm. He can chuck it down the field. No question about that. His mechanics are good here. Nice job of stepping into the throw. Good footwork. Good mechanics. Yeah, good result.
Made it look like a high school play there. The guy's 5 yards wide open.
Yeah, Neighbors, we'll get to him later.
This is where he's dangerous.
Very dangerous. The teams that play against Jayden Daniels cannot let this happen. If they do, they're just going to be chasing him. This guy's fast. He gets through the line of scrimmage. He's really explosive. You can see what happens here is that Alabama's trying to match all these routes, so everything really turns into man-to-man. These guys got their back turned to the quarterback. And, once he breaks through the line of scrimmage, it's a big run. But I think as you get ready to play the Commanders, you look at these plays from LSU and realize how dangerous of a runner he is, because not a lot of that showed up in preseason. This is, you just don't teach this or just don't coach it.
How reluctant are you to call
speed.
cover 2 man coverage on third down against a guy like this?
I wouldn't do it.
So you'd
have to spy him, but then you're in a 3-man rush with a spy. It's not great. I wouldn't do it. I would keep as much vision on him as possible. And again, you see what happens to Alabama here. They're in man-to-man coverage, so everybody's locked up man-to-man. He's running to help on the post. He's man-to-man on the back on it. There's nobody left.
Yeah.
There's nobody left. If he gets through the line of scrimmage, these guys aren't going to catch him. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no question. And then he's one-on-one out in space. Now it's a
can't
punt.
tackle
Now
him
it's a
out there.
punt return.
Yeah. It's 35 yards.
Yeah. Which he kind of cuts down your call sheet, doesn't he?
It does. And I think the big thing is disciplined pass rush, keep him in the pocket, make him throw, with a good rush and don't run past the quarterback. This is not really what you want to do. Once he gets out of here, look this guy go.
Yeah, his acceleration point past those guys are trying to tackle him. And this isn't a small school, Alabama here. Those guys are going to pro football.
We know they can run.
Yeah.
So, his running skills, I think, will be, unveiled a little bit in the NFL more than they were in preseason. I think the teams that play him got to really respect that, because that's really, he's very good at that. And he's good on the deep ball, and he's good outside the numbers. So, it'll be interesting to see how all that comes together for him as the coverage multiplies.
Yeah, and his first game is against Todd Bowles, who loves to blitz and loves to play man coverage. So that's going to be an interesting see how that matches up. All right, let's go to the next game. We didn't see much of Michael Penix. Michael Penix seemed to be on the shelf. I know I believe they practiced against Miami for a little bit, so he got some work there. But for a guy who's going to be the number 2 quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, they traded Taylor Heineke to the Los Angeles Chargers. He didn't get a lot of reps. Now, I know he's had a lot of starts in college, 55. I think he had, 45 starts in college. But still, don't you want your backup to have a little bit more experience, especially considering your starter is coming off an Achilles?
Yeah, I don't really know how they manage that, but absolutely. This guy's got to be ready to go, and he got very few plays in preseason. So collegially, good passing numbers. The 34 interceptions, is obviously high, especially some of those were, at Indiana when they were behind and so forth. But, overall 37-8, pretty good record.
Yeah, when I watched him, Bill, I thought Al Davis would have fell in love with him because he had such great deep ball accuracy. I'm not sure Michael Penix is going to be a 67% completion quarterback, but he is going to hit the long ball. What worried me most about Michael Penix is when the game's on the line, it's 3rd and 8, and we got to get a first down to keep the game. Will he make that through the keyhole throw?
Yeah, I think that's still an issue. He's got a lot of good throws. He has a quick release, and he has a nice deep ball. But I think just the overall consistency of his short to intermediate accuracy still, needs to be determined. And there's not much to go on here.
Right.
He didn't play much.
And it's not against zone. It's against tight man coverage. You have to be precise and accurate.
Absolutely. And there's going to be plenty of tight coverage in the
Yes.
National Football League. Here's a play down at the bottom where, this backside tight end uncovers quickly. The ball's out of his hand. There's the space. Don't need to wait any longer. Give it to him and let him go. Good play here. I like how quick and decisive, he was on that. Okay, now it's 3rd and 7. Miami lines up in a little bit of disguise here with this safety down and this safety back. And then on the snap, they switch them. But there's no way that this middle of the field safety can get over top of the outside receiver here. So, Penix takes a shot down the field to Washington, who had was targeted quite a bit in preseason for the Falcons. And, he puts a good ball out there. And it just misses him. But I like the read. Good throw. Decisive. That's the right idea. I like that.
Yeah, he was good at throwing the ball in the 3rd level at University of Washington and at Indiana. He was making explosive play. Yards per attempt down the field was outstanding.
This is the kind of thing that he's going to have to do a better job of. All right, so high safety here. If the safety stays high, then the corner's down and will be in a trap position. You don't want to be throwing the ball out into this trap corner. That's just... It's suicide.
Right.
It's suicide. It's okay to throw the ball inside, but you don't want to throw the ball outside. So here's the trap corner. Here's the high safety. This ball should be going over to this side of the field here with 3 receivers and not into the trap corner. So this is a pre-snap read here that he should be able to recognize right now. forget about this. He'll learn the hard way, but he doesn't throw the receiver into the corner slips right here, but you don't want to be running these guys outside in a trap corner. So you don't have enough backs and receivers to do that. They'll get killed.
Yeah, and that ball has a propensity to get picked because that corner's going to break on that ball before it gets there.
He's either going to pick it off or break the receiver in half.
Yeah.
Here's the place to throw over here, and so again, just I would say not a good read. You've got to see the corner rotation with the high safety there, and not throw the ball into a trap corner. The safety to Penix's left is in the middle of the field. The one on his right's blitzing. They have that picked up. And, here he is taking a shot again. This time, good release, good throw. Look, if you're 1 for 2 on these throws, you're going to be all right.
Yeah, that's to me his strength, right? He's going to make those yards down the field. It's going to be at the end of the game, can he close it out with his accuracy? Or maybe he has to make some of these throws because this is what he really excels at. Now, he is, for lack of a better, he's a bad bomber. I mean, I think that's really what he does well.
Yeah, and these, so you watch him hit a play like that, and then, you come to, an easier play. So Miami really is giving away this route. They're giving away the out route. Linebackers running these, safeties are inside, corners playing off. There's a big cushion out there. They're just saying, hey, if you can complete this 10, 12-yard out, then go ahead and take it. So you got to be able to hit this. I like the read. Here's the trap coverage over here. So it's quarter, and instead of quarters over here, they're really playing half with this corner rolled up and this safety in the deep part of the field. But Miami's giving them this throw. They're saying, hey, we're taking away the inside routes. We're rolling up over here. All right, if you want to throw the ball outside there, go ahead and take it. You've got to be able to hit this. Yeah. No pressure, good protection. It's a good read. He's going to the right place. It's just a bad throw. And those are the plays that, that Penix has to improve on, to be a productive quarterback in the NFL.
You get a chance at that. You can't miss. I mean, this is in high school. You don't get that many often, and you got to take advantage of it.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but here's quarter, half again with a rotation up here. This is what you see in preseason.
Right.
The defense plays the same coverages over and over again so they can work on their basics and fundamentals. It's not a big scheme game. That'll happen during the regular season. But again, this isn't a hard read here. And this is where you want to be throwing, inside of the trap corner, not outside into him, inside. So, here it is right there. Anticipate that, hit him right there in that hole and put it on him. And again, the accuracy on this throw just isn't what it needs to be. It's good enough, and they make the catch, but this ball should be in the receiver's hands right there as he rolls behind the linebacker. Okay, that ball should be in the receiver's hands there where he has a chance to catch and run it. It's a good read. Like to see a better throw here.
Yeah, no question. I mean, that's accuracy. Where everybody thinks accuracy is a completed pass, it's depending on where the ball is on the body of the receivers to truly the determination of accuracy.
Yeah, if you force the receivers to make tough catches on every play, I mean, they can't make all of them. I mean, they'll make some of them, but they just can't make all of them.
Here's under center, which just kind of wasn't the norm at Washington or at Indiana.
No, he's been primarily a gun quarterback. So play action. All right, so trying to hit this over route here, maybe a double post route. Miami's doing a good job here of dropping back into coverage. They really have this taken away. They have this taken away. So where should we go? Yeah, just check it down to the back.
Take the profit. But you got to make a good throw.
You got to make a good throw.
See, that Nix made a good throw here. That's the one thing about Nix. He made a good throw there. He's got to improve. That's what was so strange about him not playing in the preseason. The more reps you get doing this, the better off. Now, if he has to go in the first quarter against Pittsburgh, there's a lack of confidence because you haven't done it a lot. You're going to go in there. I know you've started 45 games in college, but the Pittsburgh Steelers with T.J. Watt on the other side is a whole lot different than playing Oregon or playing Michigan or anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, first and 10. This should be a 2nd and 4 situation.
Right.
Instead, now we're in 2nd and 10. Now, we're looking at 3rd down. Those are the ones you got to hit. And it's not a tough play. No. And he can make that throw. Just got to be more consistent and more accurate with it. Shows a little bit of poise in the pocket here. No rush. Doesn't throw the in cut here. The linebackers are deep. Take the check down. Solid play. Get into 3rd and short. There's enough things that Penix does in the preseason that like deep ball, gets it out on time, makes some good decisions. It's like we talked about, it's accuracy and consistency.
Yeah, and really, I get the sense when you watched him in the preseason, the confidence. I think he's got to see the plays over and over again, because when you do it enough, you develop that confidence. It's that, as you often say, is take the classroom to the field, and I think to me that's something that was missing. And unless you get reps, I mean, every quarterback that I've talked to wants to play in the preseason. Now we have guys that like to sit there with their hats on. All right, let's talk about Drake Maye, 3rd pick overall by the Patriots. Kind of didn't play much in the first preseason game, but in games 2 and 3 started to play a little bit more. There's a lot to like about him. He's young. He's one of the few quarterbacks with the least amount of experience of any of the 6 that got drafted. But he has upside. He's got great size, got great arm.
Yeah, you like his size and you like his arm. I think his inexperience really, showed up in the preseason, as it did a little bit in North Carolina. A little less productive in the passing game than the other quarterbacks we talked about. Same thing. Good in the TD to interception stats, but not elite. And 17 and 10. Again, as you said, there's some things to like. And let's go to the film here. It's really pretty evident. I pulled the plays in this game from the 3rd preseason game, the Washington game. So as much experience as he's had in preseason and in the practices, and this is his last chance to play in preseason. So. Let's start with this. You can't have these plays.
Oh, no.
You just can't have these. Yeah, the snap's a little bit low, but, I mean, you can't play kickball there and just, lose 8 yards. It's not that bad.
And this is Washington's backup versus the starters for New England. New England played their guys quite a bit in the preseason, especially with Maye coming in the game. So this is also Washington's trying to get out of the game. New England's trying to get their veteran players or the guys that are going to play against Cincinnati more reps.
Yeah, some timing and confidence. This is another thing that Maye is going to have to learn is when the safeties drive out of there and it's split safety coverage, all right, really, for the most part, you want to be throwing the ball inside here. And if you have a guy going down the middle, especially the slot receiver, that really should be your number one look. What happens on this play, though, is with the rotation here into cover 2, Maye's got his eyes outside, and looks like he's trying to figure out, how to get the ball in out here. Meanwhile, you've got the slot receiver running down the middle of the field, against the linebacker. And so that's really a good chance. And you know what? If you don't like this, if you don't think you can get it in here, then drop it off to the back and let him run with it. But this is really the part of the field that you want to be attacking, not looking out here. And again, if you watch Maye on this play, he pumps out here. There's no reason to even be looking out here, in my opinion. Pulls the ball down. But, again, here's what he can do.
Yep.
He doesn't really execute the passing game very well, but he sees some space, runs, puts his shoulder down, and gets a first down.
And everybody gets excited. But that's a perfect example of one look and go. Not having a lot of experience or a lot of confidence. I think you could see the difference in poise between Bo Nix and Drake Maye in terms of Bo Nix was willing to read it out. I think this kid saw it and took off and ran.
Yeah, and I think playing against Maye, this is what you got to keep him from doing.
Yeah.
You just can't let him run around and beat you. You got to make him read the coverage and beat you with the passing game. All right, so play action. This is another nice play here, and I think this is really where a lot of these rookie quarterbacks, need to excel is on first down, where the coverages are more limited and you have more passing options. All right, plus they have to stand there and defend the running game. So, here's the over route here.
Good job stepping up in the pocket, getting away from the outside rusher.
Yeah, it's a good play.
Under center, not much. He did this at North Carolina.
Oh,
either.
boy.
Here we go again.
Yeah, we just can't keep doing this. I mean,
yeah.
These are game-losing plays, and honestly, until the quarterback gets the exchange from the center consistently, there's no play that's any good. I mean, you can't run, you can't throw, you can't do anything if you can't get the quarterback center exchange. That is the most fundamental play in football at any level. High school, college, NFL, you've got to be able to get the quarterback center exchange, whether you're under center or in a gun.
Yeah, with all these kids playing out of shotgun all the time, it's not as easy as it looks. You're going to have to really drill it.
Now, I like this play in terms of, his ability to read the coverage. Again, it's first down. All right, we have a 3-level over route here, all right, with a clear out on the backside. So Maye does a nice job of reading the coverage. He makes a good decision. It's just this ball should be out in front of the receiver so he can catch it and go down the sideline.
Yeah.
Instead, the ball's behind him. He has to spin around and catch it. Coverage isn't very good here, so he makes the catch. But, now the receiver gets blown up and gets broken in half here by the safety. Again, is it a completion? Yes. Should the ball be more accurately thrown? I think it should. And really, by bringing the receiver back inside here to take this hit, I mean, there's only so many of those now that the receivers can take.
Yeah. And he had time to throw the ball, and he was looking at it the whole time. I mean, his eye level never moved off the receiver, so you thought he made a better throw there. At least give him, he could have thrown the post. The post looked like it was going to be open there, but he was looking completely on that side of the field. Here's a missed opportunity that you saw on the tape.
Yeah, this really should be, here's an under route here. There's nobody covering him, and, just can't make the throw. Kind of jumps, and I don't know. Like this isn't really what you want. There's no pressure there. Just slide and make the throw and hit him and run for a touchdown.
I think they're doing the right thing, letting this kid kind of grow up a little bit. Let Brissett go out there. You could just feel he's, for lack of a better term, he's jumpy. There's not a lot of confidence in what he's trying to get done. He's got talent to make a play or two plays, but to consistently drive the ball down the field, I think that would be a challenge for him.
Yeah, especially in the passing game. If you can get him on some bootlegs and outside of the pocket and things like that, where the reads are a little bit easier, I think that's what you got to try to do with him. Third down, 3rd and 11. Definitely a situation that you want to keep the quarterbacks out of. But look, they're going to come up from time to time, and this really what they're trying to do here is just run a quick catch and run play. Maybe they get the first down, maybe they don't, but the ball's out of his hands. They don't have to protect. And, it's not a bad 3rd and long play if you can catch it and run, but, here the ball is thrown behind the receiver. It's, just poorly executed.
When you have an easy throw like this, you get pitch and catch. You got to make that throw. Now you're in 2nd and 10, or now, it becomes a lot harder for you, for the team. Those are the things you can't give away. You got an easy throw, you got to make it.
No, I mean, you expect quarterbacks at this level to be able to throw checkdowns to backs, to throw, slant routes to wide receivers, to hit a wide open seam. And look, we all have plays that we wish we had back. Just saying, these are some of the things that, we need to work on. I think that, Maye probably has more of these than the other quarterbacks do, based on what we've seen in preseason, which is, granted, a limited sample. All right, well, here we go again. This is post-safety coverage, right? So there's the middle of the field safety back there. So it looks like we're going to have a lot of room to throw outside. No, All right, now the safety's driving out. And so here we're in cover 2 again with the corner up and the safety back. Here the safety starts in the middle of the field. He rolls over the top. So this is cover 2 on the run. Quarterbacks didn't have to read it. And where are we looking to throw? Right into the trap coverage again. So this is really, as you know, Mike, you've seen this a million times in San Francisco. The D slant is the worst pattern you can have on in cover 2. The flat route runs into the corner, and a slant route runs right into the linebacker. You really want to be throwing the ball over here where you have 3 receivers against 2 defenders. This is the place to throw the ball. But it looks to me like on this play, Maye never saw the coverage. He anticipated post-safety coverage here, but then on the snap, it all changed, and he's thrown right into the teeth of the defense.
Yeah, when that ball hits the quarterback's hand, he has to feel really confident what the coverage is, and Maye gets strong. This is like a pitcher a batter in baseball who thinks he's getting a curveball and got a fastball, and you could see it here, and you could see the bad throw. That's why experience matters. I mean, you can't really explain experience until you see it on the tape. This is one of those examples. He got decoyed, and this is preseason. These are the 3rd-string guys for the Washington football team. So, you open up the season against Lou Anarumo, and you're going to see a lot different and a lot better confusion on the field, which is going to create a lot of uncertainty for a rookie quarterback, which I think is why Brissett's going to be the starter.
Right. Well, again, I think that he needs a lot of seasoning in terms of reading coverages, overall throwing mechanics, and consistency. Is he, a big, fast athlete? Yeah, but I think it's going to take more than that to be ready to play quarterback in the National Football League.
But I think the one thing we learned today is it's going to take some patience, right? I mean, none of these guys are going to step in. I mean, Troy Aikman went 1-15 his first year in the league, right? Peyton Manning was 1-15 through ridiculous amount of interceptions.
Mahomes and Brady didn't even play.
Mahomes and Brady
didn't play.
And that's probably was a good thing. So I think there has to be a level of patience. Look, all of them show the skill set that they need to have to become starting quarterbacks in the league.
That's right.
It's just we have to lower our expectations and take less time because too many of those bad plays results in losses.
Mm-hmm.